avoid in-person services, like you mentioned earlier, at a church. I mean, if you have to go, we understand, and a lot of churches and religious places have different safety measures in place, but a lot of these services are being delivered online. So for the next few weeks, while we're surging, let's try to go and do this online.
That's Tarrant County's public health director asking the faithful to think again about going to church in person these days. For another viewpoint, we say good morning to Pastor Shane Gray from Hopeworks Church in Fort Worth. Your doors are going to stay open, is that right?
Yes, absolutely. We believe that the church, our message, and our mission are the hope of the world. And in the midst of a local and global crisis such as we've never seen in our lifetime, to mandate, an emphasis on the word mandate, that the local church close its doors is akin to shutting down a lighthouse in the middle of the storm, in the middle of a night. Now, for Hopeworks Fellowship, which is just south of downtown Fort Worth at the intersection of Hemphill and Allen, it means there are many homeless folks that would lose the warmth of shelter. There's many inner city kids that would lose the love of a family. There's many business folks and single moms with mounting pressures who would be cut off from the peace of God that passes all understanding. And there's people at the end of the ropes who would miss out on the hope of the world, the gospel of Jesus Christ that makes all things beautiful, all things new, and all things right in this time. You are continuing, though, to offer online services as well as in-person services. Is that right, Pastor? Yes, absolutely. We believe our message is so critical and it's so vital that we stay connected, that we want to meet people where they're at. So we offer a 9:30 a.m. in-person or a 9:30 a.m. drive-in church service, which is like going to a drive-in movie, where they can connect with the band on the stage in the parking lot and tune their radios into a transmitter and connect with my sermon. You can connect in person at our 11 a.m. in-person worship service. Now, it's been levied against us that perhaps meeting is unloving in this climate, but we believe our message is so critical that not to meet would be unloving. And we do meet, but we do meet responsibly. We scan people's temperatures at the door. People wear masks until they're seated. We exercise social distancing and sit every other row and 6 feet apart. And so you can meet, but you can meet responsibly. And
remarkably, you told us that you have seen your attendance actually double since this began. What's the message you get out of that?
That people are craving for stability. People are looking beyond the people in Washington to give them hope. They're looking beyond the stock market, and they're looking for a rock that is more solid than anything that this world can offer, and that's the gospel of Jesus Christ. People are hungry for a hope that will not disappoint them, and that is through faith in Christ, who makes all things new in their lives. And so, yes, as a result, our congregation, since the inception of COVID, has doubled, if not tripled.
We've seen hospital ICUs in North Texas in the 90% full range right now. Is there a point at which you would say that this is no longer safe for a couple of weeks until we break the cycle?
Well, I agree with the judge in that, and I appreciate his desire to pump the brakes on the spike of COVID, but my contention is the direction of his communication, because I believe that our First Amendment rights under the Constitution of the United States are at risk here. Our right to peacefully assemble and our right to religious worship. And that there is a time when denominational leaders and local churches and networks of churches may choose to cooperate with the government, whether federal, state, or at local levels, in order to meet benchmarks to achieve a certain goal.
Right.
But my real contention is that his address was to the governor to gain control in regulating churches, rather than his correspondence to pastors to cooperate with local churches.
All right, Pastor Gray, thank you very much. We appreciate it.